The truth is, if you had an hour to relate the story of Bob Peters, you'd want an hour and a half. Because no matter the time available, one would always feel the need to compress the telling. It was 1973 when Bob Peters became master of the West Australian Hunt Club, joined the membership of the WA Turf Club, and won races with his first two thoroughbreds that same year. 2 years later, he was on the WATC committee, aged just 33. He served the WATC for 18 years, including 2 years as vice chairman and 2 as chairman. During his time as a committee man, Peters introduced the first industry consultation body, the Western Australian Thoroughbred Racing Industry Council, and was its inaugural chairman. He was instrumental in the much welcome decision by the TAB to merge pools with the eastern states, and also aided in convincing the government to lower turnover tax on the industry. Of course, while all this was going on, Peters was establishing one of the great breeding and racing empires in the Australian thoroughbred world. He owned properties in Serpentine, Gingin, Gidgegannup, Gosnells and Ascot before moving operations to Keysbrook. There you will find one of the greatest broodmare herds in Australia, possessed of some of the very best sire lines. Peters' sire, Tsar, a great British stallion, sired numerous top WA gallopers, and Peters Investments Proprietary Limited owns and has owned interests in some of the leading Australian stallions. Peters disperses his stock regularly at WA sales and interstate as well. He is a constant buyer of quality animals from overseas and Australia-wide, perpetually improving the breed in WA. These days, he is second only to Godolphin for number of stakes winners produced annually in Australia. Peters' winners are legion, and too many to mention here, other than with a cruel brevity. The stable's Cerise and White Silks have been carried to victory in over 200 stakes races and nearly 1,400 others. Success has come in over 24 Group 1 events, over 24 Group 2s, nearly 50 Group 3s, and well in excess of 100 listed races. The current tally includes a record 8 Perth Cups, 9 Derbies, 13 Oaks, 5 Kingston Town Classics, 3 Railways, 2 Goodwood Handicaps, an Australian Cup and an Emirates Stakes. The Peters-owned filly Delicacy was Australian 3-year-old of the Year in 2014-15, defeating Winx after winning 2 Derbies, 2 Oaks and 3 other classics. A year later, she won a Perth Cup and CB Cox Stakes before breaking down. Peters' latest star filly, Arcadia Queen, has just won the WA Guineas Champion Fillies Stakes and Kingston Town Classic, the latter by 4.5 lengths, and is the first 3-year-old filly to achieve this trifecta of riches. Bob Peters is 75 years young, and his current dominance of WA racing is unique in the entire history of the sport in this state.